What's up, y'all? Welcome back to another video. In this video, it's Wednesday. Hold up, yeah, it's Wednesday. All right, we have another Lions News Day. It's March 11th, as you guys can see from the date. Don't know why I started adding the date, but if you guys like it, let me know. I don't know if that helps you in any kind. I think it's professional somehow. Like other sports shows, they put the date, right? Because, you know, that way, like, if you go back and look on it, maybe the date's there. You could just look at the time the video came out. But I don't know. It's March 11th, all right? It's March 11th. And, yeah, we have some Lions news to talk about, so let's get it started. So the first story we have today is about Kyle Van Noy. Now, Kyle Van Noy has been someone that we've talked about before. All right, this ain't new, talking about bringing Kyle Van Noy back to the Lions. Let's just briefly sum up the story, okay? We drafted Kyle Van Noy. He was bad. We sent him to the Patriots. He was good. Now, Lions fans may want to bring him back because he became good because possibly with Matt Patricia, he was able to figure the things out. All right, so that's really briefly summarizing what happened with Kyle Van Noy, but I think you do get the picture just based off that brief summary. Anyways, should we bring back Kyle Van Noy? That is the question. Well, he was asked about potentially coming back to Detroit, and this was his answer. He says, I have a good relationship with all of the coaches there. They know what I do. They know what I bring to the table. And he says, I think they'll all be on my table. He says, it's really just going to come down to the money, which is kind of true. That's obviously true with every free agent. It does come down to the money. But really, when he was asked, the simple answer was sure he would be okay with coming back to Detroit. And that was one of the things, we talk about how it's always a two-way street, right? Would he even want to come back to Detroit because he had so much success? Where is this coming from? Anyways, let's just keep the video going. Anyways, we know, boy, if you don't, that it's a two-way street, and he has to sign a contract if we offer him. The question was, would he even be interested in coming back to Detroit, who's been struggling, obviously, where in New England, after leaving the Detroit Lions, he had 2 Super Bowl rings. So would he even want to consider coming back here? Now, obviously, their future may not be as bright. I actually read a report today that the Buccaneers are going to be pushing super hard to go get Tom Brady this offseason, which is obviously going to be awesome, okay? Like, holy cow. This is going to be crazy. Tom Brady getting, trying to be brought in by the Buccaneers. What the heck's going to happen with Jameis Winston? Is he gone? Is he done? Or are they going to give him the big deal? Probably not. He's gone. So where's Jameis go? Jameis to New England? Oh, my gosh. This is going to be a wild offseason. Let me just say that. But I did want to stop and point that out real quick. So the question is, would Kyle Van Noy be a good fit for the Detroit Lions? Yes, he would definitely be a good fit for the Detroit Lions. We'll keep it simple there too. We need an edge rusher. We need linebackers. We need help when it comes to the edge. And having a guy like Kyle Van Noy that's familiar with Matt Patricia would obviously be a good thing. Matt Patricia has talked about what it means to bring in a veteran presence like a Kyle Van Noy. He says it's really valuable. It's super valuable actually to other younger players like Jared Davis and stuff like that. And obviously Jared Davis is kind of in a make or break type of season, and having guys like this who are very talented, who have done a lot of really good things around you, can help out. And Matt Patricia thinks that leadership and veteranship would be very helpful, even though Kyle Van Noy hasn't been in the league that long. Kyle Van Noy was also talking about the Detroit Lions. He brought up Matthew Stafford. He said Matthew Stafford has always been good. He's one of the most underrated and tough players in the league, which obviously makes me like, Kyle Van Noy a little bit. Like, that's why I like to see Kyle Van. Okay, I'm good. Let's bring him back. No, seriously though, Kyle Van Noy would be a good fit for the Detroit Lions. Like I said, he was bad with the Detroit Lions at first when we drafted him. He went to Matt Patricia, and, I know not everybody loves Matt Patricia, but either way, he found a way to make it work in New England, and he's been good ever since. Last season, which by far his best season, Pro Football Focus grade, it was ridiculous last season. He was a monster. Last 3 years, he's really been a very good player in this league, and again, we need an edge rusher. Now, Kyle Van Noy might not be your Shaquille Barrett, but he's a very talented player that can do multiple things that, again, Matt Patricia's familiar with. He knows how to play him. He knows what he likes to do, so I think that would be another advantage of bringing in Kyle Van Noy. So, yeah, being familiar is always an important thing. 2019, Kyle Van Noy had 6.5 sacks, which was the most sacks he's had, I believe, in his career. He had his highest Pro Football Focus grade, which was an 83.5, which is not normal. 83.5 is crazy good. Joe Thuney had like a 78 last season, so there you go. He's like the top guard. So an 83.5 is, it's pretty good. It's really good. In 2018, it was a little bit worse, 65.2. Yeah, a lot of bit worse. In 2017, a 57.7, which honestly in the Lions defense isn't awful. But you can see the improvement, which is a good thing. 6.5 sacks, 3.5 sacks, 5.5 sacks. Consistent guy that can get some pressure, and he gets a lot of tackles. 2018, 92 total tackles. So he definitely helps out the Detroit Lions and adds us a need because we didn't get a lot of pressure last season. So him being familiar, him being able to fit in our scheme very well, already knowing Matt Patricia, everything that goes into this makes a lot of sense. And obviously, at least by that answer. I don't know if many players usually don't say, like, I would not go there, but it seems like he would definitely be okay with coming back to Detroit depending on the money, and that's usually what it comes down to for a lot of players. Now, his market value, according to Spotrac, $8.3 million average per year. So his projected contract would be like 3 years, $25 million, which isn't terrible. $8.3 million actually isn't that bad. The Lions are not bringing back Graham Glasgow, so they're not spending like $10 to $12 million there. So potentially, they go get a guard, say Ted Karras, who I made a video of today. They can go get a guy like Kyle Van Noy and bring him in for $8.3 million a year. I would not be mad about offering that contract at all. Kyle Van Noy has been a way different player than what we've seen at the start, so don't think it's the same Kyle Van Noy. He has 2 Super Bowl rings. He's played very well, and once he went to Matt Patricia, he seemed to just kind of figure things out. And I think with Matt Patricia again, he would definitely he would definitely be comfortable coming back, and he would be successful with the Detroit Lions. You don't always get a lot of free agents that really want to come to your team, and at least from what we can tell, Kyle Van Noy does, so he's definitely an intriguing prospect to me. Now, the next one is a very short story, but we'll end it on this. It's about Jonathan Taylor. So I saw this report on Twitter, and then I kind of tracked it back. It came from Bleacher Report, and apparently the Dolphins, the Lions, and Buccaneers were the most involved. Jonathan Taylor's workouts, Wisconsin Badgers Pro Day, they were the most involved, so they were really into it. They were the 3 teams that were really involved in seeing what Jonathan Taylor could do. A lot of it was showing the receiving drills, right? A lot of it was receiving drills, because a lot of people have questions about that. Can he catch the ball in the backfield? And I'm sure that's why the Lions were so interested, because it's like, wow, this is a really good running back, kind of checks all the boxes, but man, we need a guy that can catch the ball in the backfield, because Matthew Stafford loves to do that. He loves to throw it out of the backfield, and Darrell Bevel likes to do that. We saw a couple times with Kerryon, Ty, J.D. McKissick. So we need to see that Jonathan Taylor can do that, and he actually really did impress once again at the Pro Day, just like the Combine. So obviously 2 good things now that we've seen from Jonathan Taylor. So the Lions are involved. The other teams don't really surprise me. The Dolphins don't surprise me. They have 5, 18, and 26. So if they don't trade up, they keep 26. I can see them going with a running back there for sure, even in the second round, depending on how far he falls. Lions could be interested at 35, or if they traded back, getting another pick in the first round, they could be interested there as well. Buccaneers, I'm not really sure. They sit at like 14, so I'm not really sure unless they want to take him super early, but you never know. I mean, I guess if a guy really does fall, then maybe late in the second round they'd be interested, or maybe they want to trade up for him. I don't know. I'm not exactly sure about their situation, but I do know the Lions were interested, and that's what you came to hear about. So we'll see what happens. Anyways, appreciate y'all for stopping by. Let me know your thoughts, comments below. Thank you for watching, and I'm out.